This is a story about Lily and TB's honeymoon. There's my baby right there, Mrs. Brown, looking in the mirror like always. And as you see, she gives me that look like, why are you talking about me? And we were on the plane and we enjoyed our trip flying over there. It was great service on Hawaiian Airlines. And you see right there, guy right there, video bombing us or photo bombing us. I had to draw a circle around his head. And we had a great flight. We had our pillows and we had all of the media entertainment, movies, headphones, etc. It's about a 5-hour flight over there. So we had lots of conversation. And when we got to our room, voila, it had automatic shades that opened up to this view, you guys. I mean, the view was amazing. Amazing. And as you can see here, the doors were a little bit tricky to open. So I'm kind of holding the phone with one hand, and trying to open this door or this window was a challenge. But I kept going, latch this way, latch that way, pull this, pull that. Eventually I figured it out, and here is the end result, which is a gorgeous view. We were at Prince Waikiki on Oahu Island, and we were on the 30th floor, ocean view, beautiful view. As you can see, every so many hours we would have a rainbow. And this is some food from the local mall that's probably within a block or two from the hotel. They had great food selections, all different types of cultural foods they had. It was amazing. As you see, my baby enjoyed her food. And then as we were walking through the mall, we saw them performing. It was like a cultural dance troupe with singers and dancers, and they were talking about the different experiences on different islands. They were demonstrating traditional Hawaiian dance, Polynesian dance. It was quite a surprise to see this going on in the middle of a mall. I mean, we were just kind of like patronizing this area, and we saw this, and we just stopped in our tracks and just took in the experience and the view and the culture and the people. It was amazing to see, and we were captivated by it. As you can see, it was awesome. And my baby was just standing there, and I was like, yeah, let me get a picture of my beautiful bride. And we enjoyed it a lot. And then we stopped at this coffee place here, Kai Coffee. They had amazing tastes. We had a oat milk latte and with coconut milk. Actually, they added coconut milk. I don't think it was oat milk. I think it was coconut milk. It was very tasty. They have a very rich custom of different coffees in Hawaii, and we were able to experience several different places. This was just one beautiful pour, and it tastes so good, just as good as she looks. And we had a really good time here. The people there was very nice. One of the baristas was from Seattle, so we were able to kind of talk about Seattle a little bit. And Kai Coffee. And then we were walking the streets of Oahu, Waikiki area. So we were walking the streets. There's a lot of shops and malls and all types of different things that you can do there. As you see here, we're just kind of walking down the street, minding our own business, but being in other people's business. People watching is what we call it. And so there's lots of different places you can go into, different nook and cranny mom and pop shops, high-end shops. They had Dior, they had Gucci, Louis Vuitton. There's just to name a few. Of course, they had all of the stores that we were used to in the mainland, but when you're in another part of the country, you always want to try to shop some different areas and different stores. Lots of different food, eateries. And here's when the sun came out. It was a lot of wind, but also some rain showers would come through every so often. And this is after a rain shower. We were inside the mall, and then the waterfalls kind of go a little faster based on the water on the roof. And then this is kind of later on in the day when the sun came back out, because rain is only for a couple of minutes. And so we kind of walked down to the beach, which was access. One access was on the side of the restaurant/resort. Here's the view. And pretty much you can see this view up and down the waterfront. And you can walk split through buildings, and you will get to the beach. And this is one of the beautiful views that we saw while we were out and about. And everybody is so nice, so welcoming. Everywhere we went, everyone was so nice and accommodating. So that was really a bonus. As you see, she smiles. And here is one of the small outdoor venues that we were visiting. And they had a lot of nice jewelry there. They had nice ceramics and wood art. They had picture frames. They had lots of different choice items that you don't really see in the major stores. A lot of different hats, different carvings, different beads, jewelry, flowers. And it's just an experience to go through this kind of like a outdoor mall, outdoor kind of a shop area. I know there's a specific name that they call it, but I can't think of that name right now off the top of my head. But it was really awesome. People were so greeting. They are so nice, gracious, very humble. Here is another look at us leaving, going out after taking a break. She has the bride hat on. She's dancing because she's excited. I'm excited about going out. You see, she does the model twirl there. And so we're going down the elevator. And it's an awesome view when you go in these elevators at the Prince Waikiki. Look at this. Every day we leave and go to and from our room, we see this. So it's like you could kind of touch the skyline when you're up here. Just this awesome touch. And then here we are at the beach, taking in some views back from looking back at the hotel, and taking some photos. And I believe we rented some electric scooters to kind of take us here. And as you see the rainbow, there's a rainbow. I spoke about that earlier. See those quite often, just based on the time of year, in the winter time, when it rains, and then you have sunshine, so it creates a rainbow. And we were just taking some photos that we could cherish later, create those good memories. And yeah, we had a great day. And then we started to head back toward the city and to get back into areas where they serve food at. And here we are back in the city area, and we were greeted by a lot of people who saw our hats. They were like, "Oh, you guys, congratulations. They got the bride and groom hats. Congratulations." They're just, I guess, walking billboards at that point. Shout out to Lids for making our hats. We got those made before we went on our trip. And here we are kind of in traffic with the scooters. It's pretty interesting though, because a lot of the locals there ride mopeds and things like that. And then later we went and got some food at this location. It's called Rainbow. And let me tell you, this food was amazing at a very good price too. It's like some Hawaiian dishes, traditional Hawaiian dishes, you know. And then we're back at the hotel, and then we're out taking photos. That's Diamond Head Mountain. It's a dormant volcano. Here's a picture we took in the lobby of one of many resort hotels that are along the path of Waikiki, and we just had so much fun. And here we arrived at the Pearl Harbor Memorial, and it was really a moving memorial. A lot of education about what happened those days in Pearl Harbor. Here's kind of some text that they have on display showing exactly the time that things happened and what happened. Is kind of like a timeline of what's going on. And here we are on one of the boats that takes us to the memorial itself, which is located in the harbor. And so you get on this boat and you start heading toward the memorial. And as you approach the memorial, you'll see different signage that tells you what ships are lying in shallow water right below the memorial. And we pull up, and we were instructed that we could film and we could take photos, but not live stream, out of respect for the site. So we were allowed to take some video. So what you're seeing me do here is allowed. So there was a lot of people out. Even though this day was quite windy, we still, a lot of people still showed up. And there's one of the warships that are there docked next to the memorial, always there to protect the fallen. And it was really quite interesting because we thought that we needed to pay for admission to do this. And as we approached the roped off area, there were several rangers that were there, and they just basically waved us all through. They just said, "Come on through." And we were kind of, to our surprise, able to get on this tour kind of boat. And it brought us right to the memorial. So this memorial, I've always seen it on a picture or in a framed picture in my grandfather's house. And I used to look at it as a child, and obviously you learn the history as you grow older. But this is the first time that I actually physically was able to see it in person. It's quite a sight if you think about what happened here and all the history here. It was just being there. It's nothing like being there, basically. And so here we are entering in the memorial, and it's just breathtaking. The views, the light that shines within this memorial, it was beautifully thought of and created. Um, and it has withstood the hands of time. I know it's been renovated a little, but for the most part, it stands as it did when they created the memorial. And there's my wife right there taking pictures. That is part of the ship that is under the memorial. So as you see, straight out, you'll see those two white objects that are in the water. That is the marking of where the ship is under the water, coming back towards view of where we are filming from. And that rest circle thing is one of part of the ship that goes under us. So it is a ship that is under the memorial, but it shoots all the way back the other direction as well. So it's an immense size vessel submerged underwater. Here's a American flag that flies high above the memorial, in remembrance of soldiers lost. And as you are inside this memorial, it becomes apparent that it is just that. It is not so much of a tourist site. You are at a grave site, and it is a lot of people there know this, and they are very respectful of the fact. So you don't hear a lot of talking. It's just kind of a lot of people just kind of walking through and just kind of thinking about what happened and imagining how they would be if they were in that position or in that situation. So it's a lot going through your mind after you look at the museum and you see what happened, and now you're looking at the actual memorial. And here you see underwater, the ship is there. So some people were entombed and never got out. And then as we walk further in, as you see here, there's an entrance. And this entrance is the area that shows all of the names of the fallen. And so it is very somber, but also very telling of how many people lost their lives there. Over 2,000 people lost their lives. Over 3,000, in addition to the 2,000 that lost their lives, 3,000 were injured. So, it was a historical moment, to say the least, but a very tragic moment and a learning experience for the United States Armed Forces. And it shaped our history, and it shaped our future. As you see, it's all of the names on the wall. It's Army, it's the Marine Corps, and Navy, Air Force. All of these different branches of the military were all affected by this event. And all of the names are on the wall in alphabetical order, and it's quite moving. And this is one of the battleships. I believe this might be the Arizona that is there. I'm not sure, but this ship was right off the bow of the memorial. And here's one of the commemorative plaques that spoke about what you're seeing. It's quite a moving experience to be here. Again, I can't say that enough. And then here we are exiting the memorial and getting back on the vessel that brought us there. It's quite windy, as you can see. My wife's jacket or poncho's blowing in the wind. Here's a photo of us as we leave. It was really, really moving, and I'm glad we were able to do it together. Here's the memorial as we're driving away on the vessel, looking back at the memorial. And this shot shows it all, right? It's nothing you can say but just take a look at it. And now we're in the museum, educational museum. Those are some of the Japanese pilots that took a photo before they were sent to battle. And I believe the majority of those men did not make it back. They were part of a kamikaze squadron who basically just crashed into the battleships. This, I believe, is their aircraft that they took off. So a Japanese aircraft or vessel, Japanese vessel with aircraft on it that was off the Pacific that launched the attack on Pearl Harbor. And here are some more historical facts. Just some information about what happened that day. And there's also some replicas of torpedoes, as well as submarine torpedoes or underwater submarine missiles like this long one here. I believe they were able to go in 40 feet of water. Most submarine torpedoes have to go in deeper water, but this particular one could go 40 feet. And here is a kind of a time-lapse video of the end of our day. That day, beautiful sunsets in Oahu. So this was from our room, and as you see, a time lapse of the sunset. And here's next morning, and we went to breakfast. My beautiful bride and myself ate a little something, and then we went to the beach. So here we are walking the beach of Waikiki, and it was just so beautiful out there. It was perfect temperature. It's like 75 degrees, 73, 75 degrees. Sometimes it was 78 degrees. But for us back here on the mainland in Seattle, this was summer weather for us. But just look at this. Just the Pacific Ocean all by itself. Right? My beautiful bride taking in the sun, just feeling the air blowing through, and that's me just chilling, just excited, you know. And then we said, let's walk down toward the water. Let's go to the sand and put our feet in the water just to kind of cool off a little bit. As you see, it's so windy, it's blowing her hat everywhere. And I said, go ahead, just start walking. I'll film you. Just start walking. And so she was like, okay, all right. And so she was like, okay, give me a moment. I'm going to do it. Give me a moment. Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
Very cool.
You already know TB here live. Or not live, but on video. From Hawaii with my beautiful bride behind the camera. And we are celebrating our first and last honeymoon because we are official, y'all. Mr. and Mrs. Brown vacation as a married couple to Hawaii. It's beautiful. So I just want to give y'all a shout out. Do some good stuff.
Stop it.
And then as we continued the rest of our day, just a little bit of away time just to kind of chill, catch some of the waves and water washing ashore. In the evening time, we have a sound machine that we use, which is the sound of the ocean. But let me just assure you, nothing is better than the real thing. This sounds amazing. It is amazing to see it, but also amazing to sonically hear it. So we enjoyed this day very, very much. We had one of those days where it's just like, let's just kind of do nothing and just, have fun with each other, build some great.
Yes, this is our honeymoon for our wedding. We got married on February 25th, and 2023, just for all those from Oahu, Hawaii. And we will see you guys when we get back. And take it easy. I just spend the rest of my days with my baby. Peace.
And then we arrived at one of our scheduled hikes at Diamond Head, which is an awesome ridge that overlooks Oahu. And so we're starting to walk up, and it's pretty warm at this point. We were told that it would be warmer as we move toward the top, and there was a lot of people, as you see here. We're walking up. They recommend a liter of water, so we had our water and we started our way up, and it was quite an incline as you get closer to the top, as you will see later on. But we were pushing on, and we were like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna get to the top. And so we started our way up, and we really wanted to do this just because we enjoy hiking, walking, and biking and outdoor things. So we were like, okay, well, let's just do something while we're in Hawaii that's fun, exercise, and this is the thing that we decided to do. And it's not expensive either. It's like $10 to park, $5 per person. So it's $20 basically for us to do this whole experience. So it's pretty awesome. So we started up the way, and then as you see, we're getting higher here, and my bride is afraid of heights, so she kind of stayed focused on the trail. She was focused on just the walking part instead of so much looking. But she did, I was very proud of her. She did take in some views, took some photos, things like that. So she put in work, definitely put in work. So here we are walking. And as you can see, there's a lot of people on this tour who were also excited about going up here. So we saw people with their kids, we saw people in their 70s, and we saw young people, we saw, like I said, we saw a couple that had a baby stroller. That you can't roll a stroller on this surface, on this type of terrain. So they carried the stroller the entire time up with the little baby in there, had a stroller, and it looked like, what my wife said is that they look like they've done this before. So it was very, very interesting to see that. So as the closer you get to the top, the more windy it gets. And people are coming down while we're going up, so you gotta kind of move to the side a little bit, and everyone's just trying to get to the top or get down or take photos. So it's a lot of it can be chaotic at times. we would stop for water breaks and drink a little bit of water. Because the higher you go, if you have like asthma and stuff like that, it's always good to take a little quick break, and breathe deep and slow, and just have respect for the mountain. I consider it a mountain. It's not a really tall mountain, but it definitely has its similarities to mountain climbing. It has difficult terrain, and it has some height to it. So here we are, still going up. And, we had conversations with other people who were there, and they had their stories about their history of coming to the location, where they were from. And there were a lot of people from different parts of the world there, speak many different languages, tour guides, people who are locals who just love to go up there. Here's another angle of us going up, and as you see, people are coming down, and we're getting closer and closer to the top. Sometimes you have to slow down and stop. You don't want to necessarily go around people, just because you want to respect the fact that they are climbing there as well, and they need room to come down safely. And you want to make sure you can give them an opportunity to go around you respectfully and grab the handrail if they need to do so. And there I am, filming and talking just like I usually do, just like I'm doing now. And here's kind of like a corner of a view. As you hit the corner going to the next turn, you get higher and higher. And as you see, we're getting up there. And she's just like, ooh, I don't like this. But it's okay. She pushed on. I was so proud of her. And as we're going to the next turn, I believe, we're looking up, and it's just like, oh, we still got some more to go. Still got some ways to go. But the views are just amazing views. Like, it's just like, you get higher you get, the better the view gets. And see, we're taking little pictures here, and then we come to this location where it's like a tunnel, and we were like, what? Oh, it's just gonna be. Now, the way this films, it does look like there's a lot of light in there, and it's not. So I speed it up here so that we can get through it faster. But there's lights on the ground, so what you're seeing on the left, being that it looks really bright, it's not. It's dark. It's just I guess the way the camera films it, it brings more light in there. But it was really dark in there. All right, and then we come to the end here. And once you come to the end, it's like a map kind of that tells you where you are. And I didn't show this part, but if you went to the right there where she looked up, those stairs go straight up. It's almost like it's like a ladder. It's so deep. So we looked there, and then we said, okay, well, here's a map that tells you where you can go. It says you're here. If you go left, you can take the long route. If you take that ladder, that type of steps, which she looked again and said, no, we're not going to do that. But it's all metal stairs that go straight up. It's like an incline, a real deep incline. It's like a 70% incline. So now we're going around the corner, and again, when you get around corners, you get a view. You could see where you are. And so there's some other people who were already here kind of waiting around, and there's kind of like a bench here, so we decided to kind of take a little break and sit down a little bit. And as you can see, it's a beautiful view up here. And here we are, still going to the top. The higher you get, better views. Look at that. Amazing. This is a dormant volcano, and as you see, the higher you get, you can really see the rim, the circle that we're in. She's looking like, oh gosh, let's hurry up and get to the top so I can get down. She hates heights. She was a team player though on this. She wanted to do it, and here's one of the deep steps that I was talking about. So that's her up there, and I'm catching up to her because I had to reset my camera. I wanted to try something different. See how I can film in a different mode. But yeah, so people are coming down. See, they're coming down. We're going up. We're still going up, you guys. Going right up to the sky. Yes. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Getting higher and higher and higher. Here we go. Yep. This is when she started, knees started buckling a little bit. But she was excited about being here. She was excited. And as we're going higher and higher, look. She's holding on. And look, her hat has a chin strap on it, so there's no need for her to grab it. But I understand she thinks it'll fly off. So then she got to her corner here. She did not want to move. She stayed in that corner. But look at this view from the top. Amazing. I mean, where do you go to see things like this? I mean, there's places you can go all over the world, but there's only one Diamond Head, right? The vast Pacific Ocean, all in one view like this, like you can just look and see as far as your eye can see, you know? Amazing. Beautiful. And she's clinging to that. She's not letting it go. She's like, I'm not letting this go. I don't care what you say. The wind will take me away like the movie Up. And I'm just looking over these views, and you can see the weather change. You see that? How it's blue skies in one area, and the other area it's cloudy and misty. It's just the way it is in Hawaii during the wintertime, but it feels great out there. And I just said, come on, let's go. And so now we're gonna go up a little higher. Says, let's go, come on. She's like, no, I don't want to. I'm like, come on, I don't want to. Okay. So she conceded in doing it anyways. So she started up, and as you see, she's gonna kind of stick to that bar, holding that bar. I get it. And then you see I'm just kind of spinning around like, yep, we're getting up higher. We're getting up higher. Getting up higher. Yeah. Going up still. She's slowing down. Yes. And look. And we're still going up. Yes. Keep going, baby. You got it. Keep going. All right. Good job. So now we're at kind of the tip top. Not at the peak yet. Almost there. And look at that view. Look at the city. Look at that. Look at the amazing view you get from up here. It's like you're on top of the world. Look at that. That's where we're staying at back down there. Look at that beautiful water. Look at that. It's amazing. We're like cloud level. And there were so many people that visited just that day. Everybody was coming to see this view, and now we're here. Amazing. I can't stop saying that word enough. Amazing. My bride's amazing too. We had such a great time. We definitely are gonna come back. And look at her just braving the heights. She's looking around. She wanted to take a picture, but if you look at the smile, it's like, hurry up and snap the photo so I can get down. I was like, okay, I got you. All right, look at this. Just, yeah, that's one of those panoramic photos. And then here's a view as we started to go down and started to descend from the top. It was so much fun. I loved it. I loved it. This was a long day, but we both got a good workout. And you see going down, it's getting windy again. So we're just going to get, look, we started hightailing it down. we look, it was different walking up. Now we're just like, let's get out of here. So as you see, she's still holding that hat, even though she's been told that it has a chin strap. But she got to the top and was like, look, march, hey, march, hey. But look, beautiful view going down. Then we're at the bottom and we had some nice lady take a photo of us. Diamond Head State Monument. Then again, we always think back to the view of where our room is and what we got going on in the room. But today was a long day. This is a shot we took on the night before we left. And basically we just opened up the window and just looked at our last night on our honeymoon in Oahu, Hawaii. It was beautiful. I had a good time. You have a good time, Mama?
I did.
Yeah?
Yes.
I love you.
I love you.
Look at the sunset, Mama.
Beautiful.
Right? Well, thank you guys for watching. And mahalo.